Hey there. Hello, everybody. I'm pretty sure you're thinking, oh boy, here we go again. This guy sets up a show, he sends out the link, so on and so forth. Maybe we see it, but he's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found. Well, no, we're here. We're here. Sorry to disappoint you. We're not just going to not show up tonight again. We are here and we're going to be heard. And only am I going to be heard, you're going to be heard. But first of all, we apologize for Thursday night. Just the sleep took control, man. The sleep took control. We're not even gonna lie to you. We're not gonna make anything up. It was a long day. We tried to take a quick power nap, if you may say, and it just didn't work. And by the time we woke up, it was damn near midnight. But anyways, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Another week that really nothing's happened. At least not when it pertains to the New York Mets, except for rumors and a bunch of nonsense. But hang in there. We'll be right back. And don't forget, we will be taking your calls tonight. We will be taking your calls tonight. That's what it's going to be mainly about tonight. So we'll give you the number in a second. We'll get all that set up. But we'll be right back.
We putting work, turning nothing into something. They feelings hurt, we turning nothing into something. Give a fuck if they don't like me, cause all this bread I count excites me. Turning nothing into something, nothing into something. Turning nothing into something.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode, what is it, 65 of Blunt Thoughts Live. You already know who it is. It's your boy Heck, come to you from the Heights. And here we are in the off season of Checked In and Mets are connected to the off season where David Stearns gave us his post-mortem with a nice little grin on his face, you know what I'm saying, and told us that, yeah, we've learned that we're going to be aggressive and we're going to be proactive and all of this nonsense. And instead, we're seeing more of the same, measured, opportunistic. We heard that word again. We started to hear that again, ladies and gentlemen. Opportunistic and so on and so forth. And is that really a bad thing? Probably not. Probably not. Not really. Is it annoying? Hell yeah. Is it frustrating? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know. I think David Stearns sleeps more than me, man. At least if you ask Bobby Wallace and a few of the people on X, it's Sleepy Stearns, right? And every time a move goes down, it's Stearns, Sleepy Stearns, where's Sleepy Stearns? Bobby Wallace used to like to say he's still on the I-95. Somebody got to go get him. He's on the side of the road taking a nap, whatever the case may be. But nah, man. At least there was some action in the last few days. Unfortunately, it's not action that pertains to the Mets. Or does it, right? Or does it? We started to hear first, oh, the Mets are connected to Kyle Tucker. You guys already know how I feel. When we hear the Mets are connected to anybody, I pretty much dismiss it. But someone like Kyle Tucker, you're not going to dismiss it. At the same time, to me, oh, the Mets are connected to this. Listen, any big-time player that's available, the Mets should be connected to. That is the whole idea of having the ownership that we have, right? That is the whole idea of having the ownership that we have. So we hear the talk about Tucker. We know the rumors about Bellinger, how they've been going after Bellinger or are interested in Bellinger, right? But we also know that there's a caveat to all that. And that the Mets are interested, but it has to be short-term deal with high AAV. The Mets are not interested in the rumored 7-year asking price that Cody Bellinger may have. And the same for Kyle Tucker. And don't forget, Kyle Tucker at first, it was thought that he was going to be asking for 11, 12-year deal, which to me was ridiculous, especially after Soto got 15. Because Kyle Tucker is 28 years old. But you keep hearing that. And of course, you get excited as fans. We get excited. Then you hear that the Yankees are moving on from Cody Bellinger, or they're ready to move on from Cody Bellinger, and they may be pivoting to to Bo Bichette, and maybe be pivoting here, maybe pivoting there. But what you hadn't heard was anything about Alex Bregman. You definitely didn't hear that the Chicago Cubs were interested in Alex Bregman. Now, I forgot that the Cubs were interested last season. And apparently, according to John Heyman, no one knows more about contracts and offers that were made and never materialized or whatever the case may be than John Heyman. But John Heyman, again, gave us a bunch of details today about how last off season, I think the Cubs offered something along the $120 million. The Tigers, he said, came in with the highest offer, which 5 years, 165. But he goes out there, he signs for 175 with the Cubs. And of course, for us as Mets fans, I don't think anybody was thinking about Bellinger. I mean, the name is thrown around because, there's still a question mark about third base. I know to some people, Beatty's the answer. Shout out to my guy, Joao. I don't know if he's in here, Delo Mio. He loves him some Brett Beatty. I'm still not convinced. Now, this is interesting. Now, this is some behind the scenes crap right here live. And then, okay. See, that comment I saw, Quays, the comment before, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, maybe if you've gone on on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, shout out to you. If you're not, come over to the YouTube, man. Subscribe. Help a brother out. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 this season. I think we're at 570 something. Who the hell knows? The comments is a little bit easier, but again, if you're on X and you want to comment, which a lot of you guys are good at, and gals, make sure you open the stream and you comment into the little, I don't know what to call it, the little message thing, chat thing, so that we can see it and we can put it up on the screen. But for some reason, right on my screen here, I see a vertical version of the stream. And I also see the regular horizontal version, right? And you have those options on YouTube. But for whatever reason, some comments, when Kweisi pops them up, I can't see it on the screen here. It only pops up on a vertical version, which is very small for me. And I can't read that. So that's pissing me off. Anyways, that's just that. So if Quays puts up a comment and you think I'm ignoring you, it's not that I'm ignoring you. Glasses. And then the screen is not helping me. But we move on. So Alex Bregman signs. And what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? To me, that's an outrageous deal. Let me tell you that off the top. $35 million a year for Alex Bregman. Yeah, guys, there's actually 2 streams available on YouTube. I apologize. There's 2 streams available on YouTube. If you're on the vertical and you don't, that's more for the phone, and you don't want that, go out of that and go find the other one, and that should give you the And Ken always comes in with a complaint. Thank you, Ken. Ken says the mic is low. Let's see if we can help that out. I asked Quays before, he said the mic was good, but we'll try to put the gain up on that. Look at this. But yeah, so if you're getting the vertical version, you prefer the horizontal, just close that. Maybe leave it open. I don't know if that's possible. But go to the other stream, and that should give you the regular horizontal. The option is there, so I just wanted to try it tonight. I don't really like the whole idea. I just wanted to try it. I wanted to see if it's better for clips and all that. We'll see what happens. But this is Blunt Thoughts. I told you guys from the beginning. This is the most bootleg I paid the Wi-Fi bill, Dolo. I paid the Wi-Fi bill, man. Apologize. Just as I was saying, I've told you guys from the get, this is the most bootleg of all the streams you're gonna get, but it's gonna be the realest. No offense to anybody, but this is how it is, man. That's just how it is, man. I'm not saying nobody else ain't real, but we're just the realest. Oh my God, we're just a freaking mess tonight. We're just a mess, and we're just showing that evidence of that all over. But what happened was the PC crashed. The PC crashed on me. I hadn't rebooted in a while, so I guess said, "Yo, you ain't gonna do nothing for me." Here it goes. As I just spilled stuff all over my legs. Oh my gosh, we got some cleanup to do here later on. Anyways, Ken, I was insulting myself. What are you talking about, Ken? I was insulting myself, bro. Talking about how bootleg things are. And I forgot what I was saying that. But now you guys are going to have to bear with me as I got to now sign into everything, man. So everything that was ready to go is no longer ready to go. But we'll do it as we talk along here. Gosh, man. This is ridiculous. But anyways, Cody Bellinger signs with the Cubs. And who the hell was expecting that? 5 years, $175 million. And right before that, we were hearing about how the Yankees had already offered Cody Bellinger, what was it, 5? They were willing to go 5 years, around $30 million or so. So let's say it was 5 for $150. What do you think Cody Bellinger say right now? Ha! He already said hell no. Now he's really going to say hell no. I think he's younger than Bregman, right? I believe he's younger than Bregman. He's more versatile than Bregman as he plays center field. Can play first base. Obviously, can play either corner outfield spot. So, Bregman might have just screwed up the market. He hiked the price for all these guys. What do you think is going to happen now with Kyle Tucker, who's 28? Bregman's going to be 22 when the season starts. 32. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects these other deals that haven't been done yet. And what does that mean for the Mets? Shout out to Ibby. Shout out to Ibby, who says he's 100% in on Tucker. Shout out to my guy, Ansel with his shade. He actually mentioned that, and I was joking around like, you might be 100% in, but what percentage is David Stearns in? And then, again, like I said, where's the aggressiveness? Where's the proactiveness, right? We're not seeing that. We're still seeing opportunistic. We're still seeing measured and value and try to make sure we get the extreme value on everything. And it's not just David Stearns, ladies and gentlemen. It's you guys too. I see it. I see it. Every trade that's made, every trade that's rumored, every signing that's made, and not by us, every signing that's made, that's an overpay. Excuse me. I just did it with Bregman. There was a report of I think it was a trade. I think it was for Cabrera, right? I think it was for Cabrera because I don't think it was I don't think it's for Peralta. Because that's another rumor that's been revived now. Freddie Peralta to the Mets, which I've been talking about since the beginning of the offseason, which I told you that's probably David Stearns' dream acquisition. It's a pitcher that he knows. It's a pitcher that he's probably going to feel comfortable paying a price for. And it's a player that I'm pretty sure that he feels comfortable that he can get an extension on. And a team-friendly extension. I'm telling you right now. When I hear the Freddie Peralta rumors, those are the only ones that I don't dismiss. Because I've expected that move from the get-go. But all we keep hearing, all we keep seeing for now is the same measured and opportunistic approach. Shout out to Will Salmon. Been doing great work all over this stuff. Oh, the Mets are in. But again, only on a short-term deal with a super high AAV. What would that AAV be? I don't know. Are they willing to go 4 years, 40, 4 years, 45? That's insane. But how high of an AAV do you have to go to be able to get one of those guys? I don't know. I'm still of the thought of, and I got to be honest, I'm not crazy about none of these dudes. I'm not crazy about none of these dudes. But let me get back to what I was saying, because I lost my train of thought. You guys too. So I don't understand. And I'm sure the people that talk about this price is high, that price is high, but I think the rumor deal was Brett Beatty and was it Sprout for Cabrera? Or maybe it was for Peralta. I'm of the opinion you have to trade one, if not two, out of the quartet. I don't even know why I'm trying to say that. Of Mauricio, Acuna, Beatty, and Vientos. And don't ask me to pick because you're not going to want to hear my answer. I drive Beatty to the fucking airport myself. Or wherever the hell he needs to go. That should tell you all you need to know. Acuna might be the MVP or whatever, the Venezuelan league. I don't even know if he's the MVP. This dude hit 4 home runs last night. I might as well have been pitching out there. But I trade his ass too. I know, Jay Fresh. Beatty stays. I know. I'm in the minority. I'm not convinced I'm Brett Beatty. I don't understand how everybody's so high on Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty finally had his breakout last season, right? He had his breakout last season. And it still wasn't better than Mark Vientos' breakout season. But everybody has already dismissed Mark Vientos and is ready to anoint Brett Beatty the next thing. No, not me. I actually think, and I'm more convinced, that Mark Vientos can bounce back and still have a better career than Brett Beatty. Will that be with the Mets or not? Oh, my God. Beatty's the future of the Mets. Are you crazy? He may be part of it, but he ain't it. Woo, sheesh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we know you've been rocking. We know you've been rocking with Beatty. Stanley says Stearns is still discount shopping. Told you, man. That's the frustrating part. And let me get this ready, man, because I don't want to waste too much time, man. Let's get this ready. Let's get this call situation going here. My bad. Give me a second. Let's get this ready to go. I told y'all I gotta log into everything right now. Let's get this going over here. Let's get something else going over here. We're gonna do this. But I gotta see, man. I'm still not convinced with Beatty, man. Let me see Beatty now, after having his breakout year, follow it up and show some consistency. Beatty's a future Glover. I'm gonna assume you mean future Gold Glover. I'm not even impressed with his defense. Marginally better than Vientos. Nobody was complaining about Vientos' defense when he was hitting the ball out of the ballpark. What the hell you mean lock and fill? I didn't even fucking finish locking in. What's wrong with you? Nobody was complaining about Vientos when he was hitting the ball at the ballpark every other at bat. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder how much
did the struggles at the plate get to his head? And obviously, he's not great defensively, so it kind of affected him. I get it. I get it. But what I want to hear from you guys tonight, about the things that I've thrown around. I also want to hear people keep talking about not going to the games and the stadium's going to be open. Who he is planning on boycotting games, and what would make you come back out to games if you would boycott games? Because I don't buy into that. I really don't. Yeah, we're upset, and of course, especially those first couple of months when it's cold, and you only get fools like myself to go out there. My guy Kweisi and the homie Patty. Patty was out there last year freezing with us a couple of times. Remember Kweisi? I remember one time it was Patty. They had a little I forget. And thank goodness they had like a little blanket, and they felt bad for your boy. Cause I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I came out there with just Kweisi in the back, like he remembers that shit. I remember Kweisi was like, yo, fuck this, yo. I'm going up. I'm going inside, man. I'm going inside. I was out there freezing my ass off, man. And they blessed me with a blanket. But you gonna tell me you're really not gonna come out of games and the team starts winning, no matter who the hell's on the team? I could be playing for them. You gonna come out, we start winning. I know it doesn't feel good right now, but when I hear that stuff, nobody going to games, it just be booing. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. Another thing that we heard as we get this phone call stuff ready. And another thing that we heard of these gentlemen is something else that we've been talking about. Right? And is who's in charge of this ship. And there's no question, at least if you believe John Heyman, if you listen to John Heyman, who's the captain of this ship. And no, it ain't Francisco Lindor. It ain't Juan Soto either. It's not what I'm talking about. It's none other than David Stearns. And I've been saying it over and over and over again. Steve Cohen has handed the team over to David Stearns. And I'm not upset about that. That is how it should be. That is how a good organization is run. The ownership provides the resources and gets the hell out of the way and lets the people that, whatever sport it is, the baseball people, the football guy, run the damn show. Now, of course, you oversee them. And of course, I'm not saying the owner, and especially when you get big deals, I don't want to get into that nonsense. But early on in the offseason, again, what did I say? We're going to see how the Peter Alonso situation and Edwin Diaz situation plays out. And that, to me, is going to tell me who's in charge and whether David Stearns had the autonomy to run this team. Well, we saw how that played out. And I told you that this is David Stearns' show. Well, John Heyman just again. Well, not again. This is the first time we actually heard it. He's letting David Stearns run things as he sees fit. He's given him a budget, as always happens. We never know what that budget is. We can assume, or whatever the case may be. He's been giving him a budget. He's given him a budget. It's 340 to 350 as it was last year, around where it was last season, he said. But what's his fucking name? Steve Cohen was very loud a couple of weeks ago when he got upset with the post and the fans and all that nonsense and talked about how, there's no way I can see this payroll not getting close to at least to where it was last year. Well, it hasn't budged. It hasn't budged since then. The only movement which was expected was the Mets agreeing to terms with all the players that were eligible to arbitration. The Petersons, the Alvies, I think Terrens. I had it all here, but it's all gone now. I'm sorry. But there's still room to get there. The question is, how are we going to get there? The question is, how will David Stearns get there? And will he get there? Just because that's the budget doesn't mean that he necessarily has to spend all that money. And also, to be fair, it's 340, 350, but there's room to go higher if the right player becomes available. But I don't know, man. I've said it before. Cody Bellinger, 7 years? Really? For all those that are so high and all these prospects, you bring in a Cody Bellinger. And I know, listen, the versatility, you can move him around. Even a Kyle Tucker. 10 years, 8 years. At the same time, if you feel you're ready to win, why not? Why not? And that's where the gray area again is for me, like I said before. Does David Stearns not feel like there's anything that he can do to win? And if that's the case, then what the hell, dude? Because that's impossible. But again, the slow stove, the winter of being connected and checking in continues. And there's been nothing, absolutely nothing yet to excite this fan base. I don't know if Kweisi is ready, because I don't know why he hasn't given you guys the number. But I do have it here. If anybody wants to give us a call, give me your thoughts, man. You're not going to the games. You will go to the games. Is it Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker, or break for the Mets? Is that what needs to happen? Oof. If you're watching on the vertical, you're in trouble right now. That does not work with the layout. But anyways, no, don't worry about it. To hell with that. And then, thank you, Diarrhea. Thank you. Thank you. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? And there's the number, 347-835-5767. Yeah, let me activate it, though. Don't call just yet. I'll tell you right now. Give me 30 seconds. Here we are, and we're expecting a big move, and we want a big signing. And you know what the New York Mets give us? You know what the New York Mets give us? And I'm still confused as to what the hell this means. I'm still confused as to what the hell this means. But we have hired a we.
You are connected as the host.
Shut up.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and
Oh,
can manage your
my
callers from the
gosh.
call-in studio web interface.
I just realized something.
I didn't even have anything on. I didn't even have the mic on or anything. Here we go. Anyways. The New York Mets hired Andy Martino. Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw as a reporter host. A reporter host of what? the Mets themselves don't own this, and why right now? Right, that's what everybody keeps saying. The Wilpons still own it. Is he? I don't understand. Is he gonna be an in stadium host now and doing that kind of stuff? I don't get it. I don't know what the hell the state reporter host is, and I don't understand what kind of smack in the face to Met fans this offseason has been, where you got, I'll say three, I was gonna say four, but three fan favorites either being traded or just let go, whatever, let walk or whatever the case may be. And then you bring in Andy Martino in as an in-house reporter host. Again, whatever the hell that means. I guess we'll find out. How I guess we'll find out. I'm extremely pumped. I'm extremely pumped for Martino. I'm extremely pumped. No, listen, Ken. Again, I think we're good to go. I think. Let's see. Did I do this right? Oh yeah, we did this right. Just because I've said what I said, I've said it before. I may not agree with everything, but I'm keeping an open mind and I'm rooting for the guy. I'm definitely rooting for the guy to succeed, because if David Stearns succeed, you would think the New York Mets succeed, right? If the Mets succeed, then we as fans should be happy. Now, what do we mean by succeed, right? We everybody keep, you hear people talk about sustained success, and that's what David Stearns is trying to attain. And I'm all for that. I'm all for the sustained success. At the same time, I want a damn World Series. So it's not that I want to sacrifice sustained success for a World Series, but as if I'm given a choice, I think I would take the World Series over the sustained success. What do you want now? 20 years of, oh yeah, of being, okay, let's say you want to be the Braves for 15, 16, 17 years and be division winners and not win? And you want to tell me, okay, eventually they won? I guess. I mean, I have that long, man. I hope I do. We ain't that old. We got a birthday coming up, but we ain't that old. We ain't old. But let me know what you guys think, man. And ladies, are you that fed up that the only way you're going to games is if the Mets get Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger in here? Or if not, make a trade for another big guy, Fernando Tatis or whoever the hell you want to say? And even if they get one of those guys, obviously, the biggest problem with this team is the lack of pitching. Or not lack of pitching, because we have a lot of pitching, you could say. They have depth starting pitching. They have about 7 starters and then a couple more in the wings. But they all have question marks again, and we went into the season last season with question marks. Again, we heard just this weekend something we've talked about. I talked about these guys needing a bounce back. Sean Manaea being one of the guys that I mentioned. Well, we heard how the Mets believe that Sean Manaea could be a top of the rotation guy along with Nolan McLean. They feel they rushed him back. Well, I thought you were rushing him back last year, you dopes. I kept saying then, I was saying then. And I've said it a few times about a couple of things. As much as the team has changed and things have gotten better, there's still certain aspects of the New York Mets where it's the same momentum in the sense that they panic. They make what I consider panic moves. Playing Lindor while he's hurt, where he maybe should sit a couple of games. It's like panic, especially the season after you saw the year before where Luis Angel Acuna came up in the middle of a pennant race and handled his own. Anyways, looks like we got a couple of people that are not gonna let me talk to myself, and I appreciate it. We got a first timer. It's a friend. It's a friend, but a first timer here to Blunt Thoughts. And it's the homie Lisa. Let's talk to the homie Lisa. Lisa, how are you, my friend?
Hi, my friend. I promised you I would call, and tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. Well, I appreciate it, and I know you're ecstatic. You know, they're asking me if I'm not happy. I know you're happy. You loving this off season, aren't you?
Oh, it's so much fun. Every day it's just a barrel laugh. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But let me ask you, Lisa, you as a season ticket holder who goes to tons of games, right? Um, what's your excitement level? Are you planning on boycotting games? Are you planning on going on less games? What would bring you back if you did go to less games? What would make you go to start going to games? Is it just a matter of winning, or do you need back page acquisitions and big names in order to make you go to games?
I do want some big signings. I won't lie. I want a Tucker or a Bellinger. I want that, and then that will make me go to more games. As of now, I will not go to opening day. I,
What?
that's a. I will not. Absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Wow.
Nope. Sorry. And that's coming from me,
Yeah, I'm
and I
surprised.
hate to, and I hate to say that, but when you raise me 25% of my tickets and you give me crap, all right, then I'm going to show you how I feel about it. But if you start signing some big names, okay, all right. And I hope they prove me wrong. Everything I say, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? But I'm expecting. I expect some big signings. I hope.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. And listen, I talk to Lisa, I'm not gonna say every day, but often or whatever. And this is the first time I have actually heard that she is not planning on going to opening day. But wait, do the Mets open at home or on the road this year?
They open at home in at the end of March, so it's going to be
Okay,
freezing.
they open at home.
But that wouldn't deter me. That wouldn't deter me. I would be bundled up. You know me. But the the way this the way the season ended, the way they got rid of four of the good players. And listen, I'm not even mad about that anymore. I'm still mad about Diaz. I won't lie. That still bothers me. I just see this whole thing. I just feel like what is going on? I want to see a big time player come to this team, and then I will be happy, and then I'll show it by going to the game. But opening day, as of now, I will not be there.
Okay. So Lisa doesn't go to opening day, and then the team comes out, and I don't know. First 2 3 weeks, first 15 games is something like 12-3. Is Lisa coming out to games, or is she still like, nope?
Absolutely. No, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, I'll always love my Mets. Always. They always, that doesn't end. But I could show my feelings towards, like, put out a good team for me. I want a great team. I don't want a mediocre team.
No, I hear
We
you.
have Steve
I
Cohen. We have Steve Cohen, and I still I want to trust in him to make the right decisions. And David Stearns, he still pisses me off, but whatever.
no, no. Listen, I totally understand where you're coming from, and you know, not for nothing, but Lisa doesn't have cheap seats. You know, and I listen, we're all at different levels and whatever the case may be. And just because, you're not a season ticket holder, that doesn't make you a lesser fan or anything like that. You
Absolutely,
know what I'm saying? That's not what
absolutely.
I'm
No,
saying here. But at the same time, I
I'm not
couldn't.
saying that. I'm not saying that either, Hector.
Right.
I don't care if you're a season ticket holder, if you got the best seats, the last row up in the air, up. I don't care. Or if you sit home out of state and you watch the game. We're all the same. We're all diehard fans, and we want the best for our team, and that's all we want. That's all. We want. We want to win a World Series. This is 40 years this year. We want something.
Absolutely. Lisa, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
You're
And
the best.
no,
Be
no,
good. All
no.
right.
I just try. Yes, yes. Who's that asking? Alfred, I think it is. Yes, that is Lisa. Lisa from X. Um, and listen, again, for me, I'm shocked. I'm shocked to hear Lisa saying that she's not going to opening day. I should have asked her, but I could just imagine the string of games that she's gone to opening day. She must have a huge streak. Lisa's been going to games since she was a little girl. If you follow her on X, how Alfred is talking about here, you've seen her put the pictures up. Her, I think, 10 years old, I think she was. With I think it was Jesse Orozco. She got pictures with Mookie Wilson as a young girl. Then Gary Carter. Lisa and I are actually the same age, same birthday and everything. Same favorite Met, Gary Carter. So I could just imagine how long she's been going to opening day. And those things mean something to us fans, right? I had a little streak going of opening day. And I think it was 21, 22. I forget what year it was. I couldn't go because I was sick. I just couldn't go. I couldn't go. I could not get out of bed. And I was upset about that. So for her to voluntarily say, I'm not going to opening day, that shows you how upset she is. At the same time, Lisa, you, me, all we want as Met fans is to see this team win. And if the team starts winning, I'm pretty sure Lisa and everybody else out there that's saying that they're not going to come to games will start coming out to games. Whether we have star power or not. But we are owned by Steve Cohen. And this is not what we expected. I don't care how much David Stearns believes in these young guys and these prospects. You're going to tell me that means that you can't bring in none of these guys? I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Oh, my guy Jeffrey's back. Listen, Jeffrey's a great person, man. You need people like Jeffrey, man. Jeffrey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing this evening?
I'd be better if, the Mets gave us a little something besides, the same old crap, which is nothing. Um, but yeah, man. How you?
I'm all right, man. And like to kind of echo what Lisa said, and I got a couple questions for you. I'll be honest, and it has really nothing to do with the way they've approached the off season. I mean, in a week they could sign Tucker, Bellinger, Bo Bichette, Framber Valdez, and trade for Tariq Skubal. And I just like mentally last year took a lot out of me, man. You know how it is. How many times do we say you go into a game and you're like, nah, I'm gonna sit this one out, and then you found your way there. It was like Mets overload last year. And to kind of get hurt like that, it takes a little while to warm up to the team. So I just think like I'll obviously still be watching the game, still be tuning in, still be a fan. But last year I went to like 40 games. I can't do that again this year. I just can't get my heart broken 2 years in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, Jeffrey, I totally understand that. And that's where I was. Gosh, let me turn this ring off. That's where I was. And that's where I still feel the effects of that from 22, bro. After 2022, I was devastated as a sports fan. Because of 2022, I haven't really been able to get into the Knicks, right? That's how bad it was because I didn't want to be hurt again. I didn't want to be hurt. And the Knicks were going, and I forget, my brain sometimes, I forget the exact timeline. But the Knicks were also going through teasing us, you know what I'm saying? And giving us a little thing. But we're going, we got to deal with Trey Young. We dealt with Julius Randle. I forget, he gave us his version of the thumbs down and all that stuff. But then he bounces back. And you start falling in love with that team, and they fall short. And then now they break that team up. So I totally get what you mean. Like, it took a lot for me to even get back to it in 23 with the Mets, and then they gave us that stinker of a season. But then they give us 24, and it buys everybody back, right? Who doesn't buy into that? Whether it was a bunch of gimmicks or anything, but along with the gimmicks came a lot of winning and a lot of fun and a lot of hope. And it's followed up with a dud of a season and even a bigger dud of a freaking off season. But anyways, so I listen. I totally get you guys, man.
Yeah, no, and like it's not so much that they broke up the core, because let's be honest, a couple of those guys, we didn't necessarily shed the biggest tear that they're gone, but it's just more like I just feel like the team has disconnected itself from the fans, and it's nothing to do with fan fest and stuff like that. It just has to do like with the lack of communication. I remember when Diaz was signed by the Dodgers, but it wasn't 1,000% official. He was like, I'm not going to comment on that now, but once it's official, I'm going to comment. We haven't heard from him. Other than Cohen's tweet, we really haven't heard from him. So I'm like, you know what? My own maybe silent protest, getting a little wiser, and just saying I need to see the appreciation for the fans before I give it my all like I did last year. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's fair, man. That's fair. And a lot of times I say, like, you know what? Hear from these guys for what? Like, what are they gonna tell us at this point? You know what I'm saying? But the same old crap, you know? But I also understand, like, at least tell us the same old crap. Show us that you have a pulse, you know? But nah, instead we're getting crickets, and all we have to go on is rumors and connected to this, connected to that, and every now and then we get a report or, oh yeah, the clubhouse was this and the clubhouse was that, and it's just like been nothing like really good this offseason. Even the signings that we've made has been like, okay, like yeah, Polanco would have been nice, maybe if P was still around, and not that he's not a nice player, and we'll see how it goes down. And I say it all the time: the game is not played on paper, the game is not played on computer, the game is not played on blunt thoughts. The game is played on dirt and grass, and we'll see how it plays out. And we talk about how we're going to replace Pete's home runs and all that stuff. It could be replaced another way. We could play a different brand of baseball. We could still score runs a different way. It's just that right now, it's hard to feel positive about anything. So I get it, man. I really do. But I'm
And
pretty
then
sure.
my question.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry. I was going to ask you a quick question because I know, other people. I don't want to monopolize your time too long, but I was going to ask if it came down to it, and you had to give a guy like Kyle Tucker, let's say a 10-year deal, but you knew that if you did that, he'd be a Met. But it meant that you're kind of going to war with the pitchers you have. Would you do that?
Wow. That's the thing. I don't like those deals to begin with, right? I don't really like those deals to
Right. I
begin
know
with.
you didn't even like it about Soto even with
Oh,
the
I
15
can't
years.
stand
You
that
were like
deal.
a little.
I can't stand that deal. I love the player, and I love having him. I can't stand that deal. And I know people don't understand that. Um, man, and you said I have to stay with the pitching that I have, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could bring in like, one of those like B or C kind of starters, but you're not getting anybody. You might bring in like a
That
Giolito
shouldn't be the
or Chris
case, though.
Bassett.
That shouldn't be the case. And thanks a lot for the call, Jeff. But that shouldn't be
No
the
problem.
case. That shouldn't be the case. That's what it's upsetting me. We shouldn't have to choose. Well, if we get this guy, then we can't get this guy, and we have to bargain shop over here. Not with Steve Cohen as owner. That should not be the philosophy. That should not be the choice. You don't want to do it because you don't want to do it. Okay, that's different. You don't feel like it's a good baseball move. You don't feel like you want to tie yourself up for 10 years when you're gonna have players coming up that can give you the same. Whatever the case may be, that's different. But again, I keep saying it. If you feel like this is the piece that can get you that much closer to winning sooner rather than later, then why the hell not? And the guy is 28 years old. Again, worried about how that's going to age. Well, all these contracts are going to age bad. But we're talking about in 6-7 years. If you can get a World Series or two out of that, I'll take it. I'll take it. But I just, again, the urgency. The urgency is not there from David Stearns. He doesn't feel. No, no, no. There's no way in hell. I gotta look this up. I gotta look this up. Because I just saw something that there's no way. Like, there is no way in hell. Hold on. But anyways, if you're trying to win sooner rather than later, these are the kind of moves that you'll make. What is it? Who was it? Tony HVAC? Where do you get that Pete was a career 179 hitter with runners in scoring position? Like, you could not like the player. You could be happy that he's gone, but let's not misrepresent them. He has a 266 average with runners in scoring position, career, with a 933 OPS. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Now throw the OPS out there for those that won't dismiss the average altogether. But let's not do that, man. He's already gone. We got to shit on these guys while they're gone. They're gone. That's it. We move on. We move on. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like it's gonna be a quick, short, quiet night tonight. But let's make sure we've hit on everything. The other thing that was of note, again, the Mets agreed with all the arbitration eligible players. Easy peasy. Somebody that did not agree with his team to a contract in arbitration was none other than Tariq Skubal. And boy, were they apart. Again, shout out to John Heyman, who somehow always gets these numbers. Well, I think these would have been made public anyways, but I think he was the first one to come out. But he also had the numbers about the Tigers lowballing him on an extension. Well, they lowballed him in arbitration as they offered $19 million. And he came in with a request of $32 million. Oh my. At this point, listen, they still have time to come to an agreement before the hearing. But there's already talk about why would Scott Boras do that at this point? Why not go to a hearing? He'll probably win. And let me say this. I was talking crap about Scott Boras this weekend. Well, he showed me. He showed me, not even a couple hours later, when I'm talking about one of these players going to learn and when is Scott Boras going to learn, and that there's no more Tom Hicks around. And that Steve Cohen is no longer taking his phone calls while on vacation and having some cocktails. He has to deal with David Stearns. And Hal Steinbrenner isn't George. And he said, "Oh yeah, Hector. Well, I'm gonna show you something. As not only am I gonna get Bregman to a deal that you think is ridiculous, but I'm gonna get an owner to give him that deal that has talked smack about me and about not wanting to deal with me. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Cubs owner had what is Tom Rick? I forget his name. But he talked about how he doesn't deal with Scott Boras, and maybe he didn't deal with Scott Boras. Maybe it was all his front office. But you signed off on that deal. And shout out, I forget who was it. I think it might have been my guy Ant Subway to Shea. Who I did a couple of posts about Boras yesterday. I was on one yesterday with Boras. I think it might have been Ant Subway to Shea who said, SNY said the Mets met with Tucker. Forget about it. We're not getting him. Who said there's always one team. There's still the possibility of one owner or something like that. Well, you were right, whoever that was. I think it was Ann, I'm pretty sure. But once again, Heck made a bold statement, and they wasted no time in shutting them up. But what? I'm confused, Quay. Oh. Well, we'll see. Real quick, I haven't put it out there, but tomorrow we will have another show tomorrow. It's why I really don't want to get into too much. And I was hoping to just talk to you guys and get some calls, but nobody wants to talk tag tonight. Everybody is, I guess, watching football and doing I don't know what the hell what. But it's okay. No biggie. We will be back tomorrow. We won't be taking calls tomorrow. We won't be taking calls tomorrow because we will have a guest tomorrow. And she takes calls all the time. She's not on the air now because there's the game on WFAN. But we will have Lori Rubinson, Sunday night host of WFAN, to give us her thoughts on the Mets. And, she talks to these insiders and stuff. She has guests all the time on her show. See what she's hearing. Not that she's an insider or anything like that, but she's a fan. She's a fan. So we'll have her on tomorrow. And someone, I've been wanting to talk to her for a while. So we'll talk to her Mets. We may ask, just what it's like being at the fan and being a host and all that good stuff. That's just gonna be personally for me, whether you like it or not. But we will be having that tomorrow. Thanks for asking, Darren. Tomorrow, 8:00. 8:00 tomorrow. Myself, Lori Rubinson, and all you guys, and hopefully more. We'll be here having some fun. Besides that, again, the off season of waiting and hoping and updating X. And every time you get an update, I see people sometimes when Passing puts out something that has nothing to do with a signing or anything like that, and they're like, "What the hell, man? Don't be doing that." And refreshing, I guess, is going to continue. Will David Stearns finally pull a trigger on the trade? Like, guys, come on, man. All of these prospects, ladies and gentlemen, all of these prospects are not going to come up and become stars. They may not even be average major leaguers. A good front office figures out who to keep and who to move on from. Stop worrying about, I wouldn't pay this. I wouldn't get rid of these guys. I'm not trading these guys for a rental. If that's the mentality we're gonna have, we're never gonna make any moves. Yeah, sorry, Yankees girl. You came to the right channel, actually. You came to the right channel. But the mentality is gonna be that we don't want to pay, and I fall. I'm victim to it. I'm a little guilty. I don't want to give out the long term deals. I really don't give a damn about the money. As Lisa said, they're raising ticket prices anyways. Concession stands are through the roof anyways. Forget about parking. So pay these damn players whatever the hell you want. I don't like the long term deals because one, I don't like paying for past performance, and we know these long term deals don't end well. We know that. But you got to do something. Either you're going to give out a deal. I understand you're a Yankees girl. Either you're either going to give out a deal or you're going to make a trade. That applies to your Yankees too, Yankees girl. What are you guys doing? Yankees haven't done jack. Now you can tell me that you guys have a better team than we do, as is coming back. But not the Yankees nor the Mets done anything. The Yankees have been doing that for years, holding on to prospects, overhyping prospects, the Clint Fraziers, the Anduhars, and so on and so forth, and don't trade them, and then don't play them, and then they become nothing. Then they're doing podcasts. So you got to do something. Make the trade for Peralta and upgrade the pitching staff. You got to give us something. You yourself said we can't come back doing the same thing. Okay. So what are you gonna do? You gonna tell me Polanco and Devin Williams and Luke Weaver is it? That's it? We changed it up. Oh yeah, don't forget Marcus Simeon. That ain't it. That ain't it. You better hope all these prospects come up and produce. I don't know. Listen, I was asking on the last show, what do we make of Acuna's winter ball? Well, he hasn't stopped. 4 home runs last night. Does that make Acuna? I was looking at the Mets roster and projected roster a couple of days ago on Fangraphs. And when you look at the bench, like it almost made me throw up. It almost made me throw up. When your bench is projected to be Luis Torrens, Acuna, Mauricio, who's there's no way in hell should be on an opening day roster. I'm sorry. That dude has been terrible in winter ball. Unless he's picked it up. And if he's still even playing. I don't know. I don't know what they're out of the playoffs. He's not playing. He had a terrible winter ball season. That dude needs to play. You can't even trade him. But this is your bench. and Jared Young. I think those are the 4 guys listed on Fangraphs as part of the bench. We're gonna shut this phone line down. We get nobody else, and we get ready to get out of here, anyways. But can you imagine? There's no way in hell we could start a season like that. On top of that, all the question marks again with the pitching. Listen, I think he needs to bounce back. But will he bounce back, Sean Manaea? Can Clay Holmes follow up what I thought was a very good season last year after making a switch from reliever to starter? Can he follow that up? Is he going to be affected by the innings now that he wasn't affected last year? Who the hell is David Peterson? We came in asking that last year. Was it really the hip surgery? I think he maybe hit a little bit of a wall last year. He eclipsed his innings like almost a lot of these guys did. Question mark. I know we love Nolan McLean and we have high hopes for him. But is he really that dude? We sure hope so, and we'll see. Question mark. Do I even have to say the name? Just the name. All I gotta say is the name, and you already know. Kodai Senga is the symbol of question mark. Who else? Brandon Sproat, Christian Scott, Jonah Tong. But I don't even want to mention those guys. I just want to focus on what may be the 5. So we got Peterson, Manaea, McLean, Senga, Holmes. All question marks. No left fielder right now. Possibly a rookie starting on opening day. A center fielder whom I like, whom will play defense, whom if you sign Kyle Tucker, I have no problem if you put Tyrone Taylor as my everyday center fielder to start out, because all I need him to do is play defense. I don't necessarily need his bat. But if you don't sign Kyle Tucker and you give me Soto, Benj, and Tyrone Taylor, then that's going to make me sick. I'm going to want to throw the hell up. An experiment at first base, whether he's a good bat or not, an experiment at first base when you preach run prevention. Oh, he's more athletic, Hector. He's a middle infielder. I got to see it. You could take them little videos, workout videos, and shove them. A third baseman that, okay, whoever the hell it is, who knows? A second baseman who's 35 years old, who missed a ton of time last season, who's been on the way down, not up or even leveled. A starting catcher whom we don't know who the hell he is. So yeah, I don't know who was it that said in the comment before, and I don't know exactly how you meant. Wait a minute, you can't hear me. Can't hear me? Dodo said you can't hear me? When was that? That was like a minute ago. Is that true? That's a good question, Mark Darren. That's a good question. I mean, it's a good question. I would think for Peterson, not right. He did last year. Now you would think he should be able to overcome that now. But I think it's fair to ask of McLean. And then I'll be interested to see what happens with Holmes. I don't he had a little bit there, but Holmes was probably the most consistent for the Mets starter last year. Listen, Brandon, 6, 7 years for Tucker. Listen, I don't have a problem with that. What is he, 28 now? That takes him to what, 34, 35? Ranger Suarez. Ugh. Okay. Quays. What's wrong with you, man? We should have put that up as a comment somehow so that we could have put it up here on the screen. You know what? I think I can still do it. But I think this is what you guys were referencing before. Let's see. Oops. Not there. Heck. Yeah. Ah, there we go. It said this is, I guess, a post from Jim Duquette. A lead source confirmed to me that the three main teams involved in the Tucker negotiations, Toronto, Dodgers, and Mets, have all met with the player either in person or over Zoom as part of the recruiting process for a star player. Will be interesting to see if any of and this guy got cut off. Next time, come on, Quiz. You gotta do a better job of giving me the quote, man. But I guess they've met with him. The Mets being one of those teams, and we'll see what happens. Again, man, every time we hear too much about a player, about a move, I know there's been a couple of times where we have heard about it and it happens, but more often than not, it doesn't materialize. So this makes me nervous. And listen, if it's on a short-term deal, you can argue that both those other teams give him a better chance to win, at least on paper. Or at least he may feel that way. Ouch. At least he may feel that way. Like, okay, so all things being equal, so what's it gonna take? How much higher does the AAV have to be on a short-term deal for him to choose the Mets over the Dodgers? I mean, the Dodgers or the Blue Jays. And will David Stearns want to go that far? Is it that serious to him? Is it that meaningful to him? And what is that short-term deal? Let's say all three teams are at 3 or 4 years. What's it gonna take? Is it gonna take what was it? I think Bregman got 40 last year, right? From the Red Sox. I think Bregman got 40 from the Red Sox. Does it take 45? Would I opt out after the 1 year? Or the opt out after the first 2 years? 45 each? That's insane. But if for 2 or 3 years, I might do it. Oh, you know that. You know that. And let me tell you something. That is part of the reason why a lot of teams, and especially the Mets, don't want to get involved in certain talks. The Bregman situation is another example of why teams don't like giving Scott Boras a number. Because look what he did to the Red Sox. Right? They made an offer, I think they said 5 years, 160 something, 60. I forget exactly what the offer was that they just made right now, this offseason, a couple of days ago, whatever the hell it was. And then they never heard back. And the next thing they know, the next thing they hear, oh, Bregman and the Cubs come to an agreement for 175. So this is why I can't stand Scott Boras. And listen, he's winning. He won. He won. 5 for 165 was the highest offer he got last year. He turned it down. He gets 40 million last year. He signs for 5 175. You do the math. That's 6-215. He won. P turned down whatever the hell it was. I forget the numbers. P won. He's on the same path with Bellinger. According to Pat Ragazzo, who writes for Sports Illustrated, I believe. The Mets have met with Kyle Tucker. Meeting was said to have went well, and New York Mets like their chances in the race with the Dodgers and Blue Jays at Jim Duquette. So Ragazzo's really not providing anything here. Shout out to Pat Ragazzo, but he's not really providing anything. He's just doing exactly what I'm doing and just quoting Jim Duquette. Now, Duquette is following up his earlier report when he has said that these three teams had reached out and spoken to Tucker. But what would it take to convince Kyle Tucker to take the short-term deal with the Mets over the both World Series participants from last season? I don't know. And then if those teams are willing to go to the 6-7 years, is David Stearns going to be willing to go? Can let me see that again? You can't trust Stearns, but I hope I'm wrong with this one. Oh, man. But that's why teams don't trust Scott Boras and why they don't like giving him numbers. Because he pushed and he pushed and he pushed and he pushes the Red Sox and leads them to believe that the player wants to come back. And the player loved being there. I need to look that up. How many Boras clients actually returned to their team? Actually re-signed with their team? Whether it be in free agency or what? I would say it's less than 10%. If even that. Shit, it might be something like 3%. Almost all of his clients walk in free agency. And they'll sign these little bridge deals or whatever, and they'll walk from that team as well. And he'll push and he'll push and he'll push and he'll push and he'll extract the best deal possible from the team that probably wants the player the most, and then takes it and shops it somewhere else. And then that team says, we'll beat it, but you can't go back to them. You got to take it or leave it right now. And since he knows there's a good chance that the other team may not go higher, he talks the player into taking that deal. And more often than not, for Scott Boras and his clients, it's about where we can get the most money, and winning becomes secondary. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. But listen, right now he's winning. Right now he's winning. Yeah, Ortiz, man, listen, that qualifying off, and I don't listen. Come on, man. I get it. At the same time, like, if you're good, you find players. If you're good, you find players. And are we trying to win, or we're just trying to build the best farm system? What are we trying to do? The Dodgers have signed free agents. Have they not sacrificed the qualifying offer? They still right now have the number one farm. They still have the number one farm. But we'll see what happens. On that note, we're gonna get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow again. Myself with my guest Lori Rubinson, 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat for all your comments. Let's see here if we missed anything good here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. Ask the question. I don't know if you asked it, but ask the question before we get out of here. If you're still here. Um, what is it? Joy YouTube. Just that's a funny name. Is that Lindor getting ready for? Is that Lindor getting ready for the WBC or Lindor doing what he always does around this time? Whatever. It could be. It could be until they start winning games, and then even you'll be out there. Now you're asking for a little bit too much. Not only Tucker or Bellinger, but you also want Suarez and the pitcher. Oh, you want both of them, Valdez and Peralta. Sign me up. But you know what? I'm not mad at you because this is the kind of moves that we thought we would be making. And hopefully, eventually, we will be. Hopefully, eventually, David Stearns graduates to making these kind of moves. But right now, it's just not happening. Right now, it's just not happening. Anyways, let's see. I don't know what that question was, so maybe you can come back tomorrow and ask the question. I don't know if that was a prank or a troll or what the hell that was, because the name is kind of funny. Stanley, if you ask certain people, the Mets are in on anybody. Ask Ramos. Right, Ramos? The Mets are in on everybody. I didn't think you was, Ortiz. I didn't think you was. I sure ain't. Listen, that would be nice. That would be nice. Hopefully it happens while we're on. Hopefully it happens while we're on. But that's it for your boy, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. And listen, man, like I said, it's been annoying as hell. It's been annoying as hell. The slow cook continues. There's been no aggression, and there's been no proactiveness. But you know what? And it's not opportunistic for us. It's all day, every day. Let's go back, baby. Oh,
Click full of animals and we made ourselves with minimal. Fuck you, no subliminals. Putting in this work, nigga. That's why they feelings hurt, nigga. Swear we need a hearse cause we rep our shites to the dirt, nigga. If I'm in the club, I'm